event. And I am very pleased that you are here with us to listen to the presenter this evening. But before that, I would like to introduce the chairman of the function, the president of the academy, vice presidents of the academy, former presidents and vice presidents of the academy, fellows of the academy, invited guests, students, ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to introduce the chairman of today's function, who is a fellow of Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, a vice president of Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, a fellow International Academy of Food Science and Technology, fellow Kellogg Foundation Leadership Program. The chairman has got an experience as a vice chairperson of FAO, who Codex Alimentarius Commission, based in Rome and Geneva from 2011 to 2014. He was the chairman of the planning committee for the establishment of two universities, University of Energy and Natural Resources at Sunyani and University of Health and Allied Sciences at Ho. In addition, he has been a board chairman for Millennium Development Authority for Ghana's Millennium Challenge Compact 1 and Compact 2 up to January 7, 2017. He was a founding dean of the Faculty of Engineering Sciences, University of Ghana, and now a professor in the Department of Food Process Engineering, University of Ghana. With such experiences and catalogue of events which he has chaired, I now invite Professor Samuel Kofi Sefadede, who is the Vice President, Sciences of the Academy, to chair this event.
Good evening. Thank you, Acting Honorary Secretary, for the introduction. This evening, we are privileged to have one of the distinguished scientists, crop scientists in the country, to speak to us on plants and development, human development. It is important for us to appreciate the resources we have as a people. And one of the important resources we have are plants, which will grow from coastal areas through to the north. Vice Presidents of the Academy, Fellows of the Academy, distinguished ladies and gentlemen and students, some of whom are streaming in. You are welcome to this evening's special lecture in the sciences. Our speaker for this evening is Professor G.K.S. Aflakpui, a fellow of the Academy and currently the Dean, Faculty of Applied Sciences at the Wenchi campus of the Methodist University. He is the immediate past rector of the WA Polytechnic and also a former chief scientist with the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. His summarized biography information on him is in the program, so I'm not going to read all of it, so we can have time to listen to his presentation. He's been an external examiner at various times in universities. In addition to being a fellow of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, he's a fellow of the African Scientific Institute. Trained as a crop scientist, he attended St. Augustine's College in Cape Coast. It's so far away, so St. Augustine's, I know one St. Augustine's person who is here. He holds a PhD and has had very wide experience in this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our speaker for this evening, Professor Aflakpui.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, distinguished invited guests, fellows of the Academy, ladies and gentlemen. This evening I'm speaking to you on the topic, plants and human development. Before I proceed, let us all operate at the same wavelength with two definitions. The first definition is plant. Plants, also called green plants, are multicellular eukaryotes of the kingdom Plantae. They form a clade that includes flowering plants, conifers, and other gymnosperms, ferns, liverworts, and club mosses. About 350,000 species of plants have been named, out of which 258,000 are flowering plants. So that is plant. Now, human development. Cosmetics industry. 4, plants in environmental sustainability. 5, plants in mitigating and adapting to climate change. 6, plants in automobile industry. 7, plants in construction industry. 8, plants in clothing and textiles. 9, plants in paper and pulp industry. 10, plants in beverages industry. And last but not least, plants in food industry. We start with the first one, plants in food and nutrition security. Mr. Chairman, I would like to start this session with 2 quotations from the Bible. I'm not going to give a sermon anyway. So the first quotation is Genesis chapter 1, verse 11 to 12. And I quote, "Then God said, let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds. And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good." End of quote. The second quotation, Psalm 104, stanzas 14 to 16. "He makes the grass grow for the cattle, the plant for man to cultivate, bringing forth food from the earth, wine that gladdens the heart of man, oil to make his face shine, and bread that sustains his heart. The trees of the Lord are well watered, the cedars of Lebanon that he planted." End of quote. Mr. Chairman, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, from the account in the Holy Bible, God created plants to produce food for humans and animals, wine to gladden the heart of humans, and oil as beauty therapy for humans. The three basic necessities of life are food, clothing, and shelter. Nearly 75% of the world's food supply is based on 7 major crops: rice, wheat, maize, potato, cassava, barley, and sorghum. The Committee on World Food Security indicated that food security exists when all people at all times have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. There are 4 dimensions of food security, namely availability, access, utilization, and stability. All of these elements must be fulfilled simultaneously for food security to exist. The population of the world has increased in recent years and is projected to exceed 8 billion by 2025, increasing further to 9.6 billion in 2050 and 12.3 billion by 2100. The expected increase in population of the world is forecast to continue increasing for the rest of the century, with at least a 3.5-fold increase in the population of Africa. The population of Asia, mostly South Asia, and Africa, mostly Sub-Saharan Africa, are expected to record a great share of the projected increase in population. This rapid increase in population will definitely be associated with an increase in demand for food, energy, and other natural resources. Food security will therefore be mostly threatened in the regions where the greatest population increases are projected. In an effort to meet this growing need, most developed countries have adopted intensive form of agriculture that relies heavily on external inputs such as pesticides and fertilizer application for soil improvement, and technologies including the use of machinery for land preparation and harvesting. Dr. Norma Ernest Bollard, the 1970 Nobel Peace Laureate, who is regarded as the father of the Green Revolution, indicated that to meet projected food demands by 2025, the average yield of all cereals must be 80% greater than the average yield in 1990. These increases must come from increasing biological yields and more irrigation, but not from an expansion in the area cultivated. Dr. Bollard, who worked with hard, thin stalk wheat varieties, developed semi-dwarf, high-yielding disease varieties which contributed a wheat yield 6 times larger than what was in existence. When these semi-dwarf varieties were introduced into India and Pakistan, wheat yield doubled. The physiological basis of some of these improved varieties are reflected in specific leaf area, leaf weight, improved nutrient uptake and partitioning, improved nutrient use efficiency, increased biomass production, and grain weight. Others are greater radiation use efficiency at the canopy level and maximum photosynthetic rate at saturating irradiance at the leaf level. Plants are not only important for food security, but also nutrition security. Nutrition security means access by all people at all times to an appropriately nutritious diet, comprising all essential nutrients and water, coupled with a sanitary environment and adequate health services and care to ensure a healthy and active life for all. Food crops for humans have been produced to support nutrition security. For example, by making staple crops more nutritious, such as fortifying them with micronutrients and developing micronutrient-rich varieties. The transfer of beta-carotene, which is a precursor of vitamin A, from a plant species rich in the vitamin to a traditional variety of rice, which is poor in the vitamin, is an example of how plants can be beneficial to nutrient security and livelihood of humans. The quality protein maize, QPM, is a source of two essential amino acids, lysine and tryptophan, which cannot be synthesized by the human body, but good for humans. Mr. Chairman, we move on to plants in human health and wellness. A well-nourished body is less likely to be infected with disease-causing organisms. Hence the popular saying that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Fruits and vegetables play important roles in diets of humans as rich sources of minerals, vitamins, protein, and fiber. They are a source of strong antioxidants that help block free radical damage, strengthen our immune system, and prevent or slow the spread of cancer. Fruits, vegetables have high water content that keeps the body hydrated and restores lost electrolyte balance owing to heavy exercise. Fruits and vegetables are known to be good for bones, teeth, and reduce risk of age-related degenerative diseases. In addition, fruits and vegetables help regulate blood pressure, lower cholesterol, promote healthy growth, reduce loss, and prevent premature graying, combat and reduce the level of bad cholesterol in the body. Nearly 1/4 of all prescription drugs come directly from or are derivatives of plants. Additionally, 4 out of 5 people around the world today rely on plants for primary health care. Green plants constitute a major source of many of the orthodox medicines. Foxglove, digitalis, has been used since the 16th century to treat heart disease, and its derivatives are still used in medicine. Cannabis sativa, has been used medicinally for years. Today, it is used in treatment of sleeping disorders, autoimmune diseases, and glaucoma. The bark of the white willow, Salix species, contains acetyl salicylic acid, commonly known as aspirin, which has been used for pain relief for 2,000 years. Opium derivatives from the opium poppy, such as morphine, are still powerful painkillers in hospitals. The bark of the fever tree, Cinchona susureba, a native of Latin America, produces quinine, which is used to treat malaria. The leaves of the English yew, Taxus baccata, are used in the synthesis of compounds called taxols, which are used to treat breast cancer. Galantine hydrobromide, a compound derived from the bulbs of daffodil, is being used to treat Alzheimer's disease. The synthetic female sex hormone called norentidron was first synthesized from Mexican-grown yam. The biochemist Russell Macker discovered how to synthesize the human hormone, testosterone and progesterone, from dioxygen, a saponin isolated from Mexican yam of the genus Dioscora. Plantain peel is a potential source of antioxidant dietary fiber for developing functional cookies. High-performance liquid chromatography proofing showed the presence of acids in plantain peel as a good source of antioxidant dietary fiber. Latex from the rubber tree, Hevia brasiliensis, is used to produce rubber gloves, waterproof sheeting, and prophylactics, which play an important role in healthcare and medicine. Evidence abounds of compounds in brassicas, that is cabbage, cauliflowers, alliums, for example, onion and garlic, and tomato, that have positive benefits. Starch as an excipient. Starch, which is the second most abundant biomass material in nature, is a natural, cheap, available, renewable, and biodegradable polymer produced by many plants as a source of stored energy. Starch is found in plant leaves, stem, roots, bulbs, nuts, and many others. Starch has found wide use in the food, textiles, cosmetics, plastics, adhesives, paper, and pharmaceutical industries. Pre-gelatinized starch has been used as one of the best-known excipients. Excipients are pharmacologically inactive substances used as binders, disintegrants, and fillers for making medicines dispensed as tablets in the pharmaceutical industry. Plants in the cosmetic industry. The plant kingdom represents an enormous reservoir of biologically active chemicals, which are widely employed in functional substances in cosmetic formulations. Products of plant origin used in cosmetics include vegetable oils and other lipids, essential oils used as fragrances or for their antimicrobial activities, ingredients for skin care and hair care, and antioxidants. The shea tree produces shea butter, which is an important raw material in the cosmetics industry as an emollient and skin moisturizer. Shea butter contains vitamin A and E that makes it a good moisturizer for hair. Shea butter also has semi-solid characteristics and buttery consistency, which make it a good emollient and moisturizer for the scalp and skin. Aloe vera leaves contain a sticky gel extracted from the leaves and yellow latex extracted from the outer layer of the leaves. Aloe vera contains more than 75 nutrients and 200 other ingredients, including 20 minerals, 18 amino acids, and 12 vitamins. Due to its qualities, aloe vera juices and gels are successfully used in cosmetic products with anti-inflammatory, soothing, toning, moisturizing, and skin protective effects, face and body creams, hair care products, and natural deodorants. Roses are not only beautiful flowers available in a large variety of species, but they are also a valuable natural cosmetic ingredient. Especially, rose oil is high in vitamin C with extremely hydrating properties. These roses are used in many fragrances and other products of high-end brands such as Chanel or Dior. Lavender, especially lavender oil, is used to moisturize skin. Aside having a pleasant smell, suitable for many scented products such as perfumes, bath and body care products, lavender also has good antiseptic properties. Tea tree is one of the main ingredients used in cosmetic products aimed to fight against acne and to treat acne-prone skin. It is considered one of the best natural alternatives to chemical substances that are potentially skin irritating. With the most extensive applications in natural cosmetics, chamomile has anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, decongestant, disinfectant, and analgesic properties. Depending on the way they are used, various cosmetic products for skin, neck, hands, hair, or feet obtained from the chamomile flowers or the area plant of the plant. Rosemary is a plant that originally grew in the Alps, but is now cultivated in several regions all over the world for various applications. Rosemary has antifungal, anti-inflammatory, antioxidants, and antimicrobial properties. It successfully treats alopecia, stimulating hair growth, and acts as a balm, invigorating hair and giving it a healthy look. Tonic and moisturizing properties recommend rosemary oil to reduce fine wrinkles and treat acne-affected skins. Mr. Chairman, we move to plants and environmental sustainability. Plants are the backbone of life on Earth and an essential resource for human well-being. Hence, the popular saying that when the last tree dies, the last man will die. Plants are the only organisms that can convert light energy from the sun into food. They take up carbon dioxide from the atmosphere in the process of photosynthesis and release oxygen into the atmosphere. Plants store carbon to give information on environmental quality. Bio remediation. One of the prudent ways by which nature purifies the polluted environment, and that degraded by anthropogenic activities is bioremediation. Although the term bioremediation may be recent, but the process is not new, as its origin relates to the origin of life, when the first organism was stressed by certain compounds in less harmful forms by adopting certain detoxifying mechanisms to overcome the stress. For plants, the terminology is phyto remediation. The term phyto remediation actually refers to a diverse collection of plant-based technologies that use either naturally occurring or genetically engineered plants for cleaning contaminated environments. Phyto remediation is an emerging technology that employs the use of contaminants, microbes, and plants. This complex interaction is affected by various factors such as climatic conditions, soil properties, and site hydrogeology. Phytoremediation can be applied to both organic and inorganic pollutants present in various waste streams. 4. Phytostabilization. This is the use of plants to reduce bioavailability of house gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and of fuel and lumber, help clean our air and water, preserve wildlife, provide recreation opportunities, and preserve the beauty of trees in their natural home for generations to come. The Etiwa forest, apart from sequestering carbon, is the source of the rivers Ayensu, Birim, Brimpong, and Densu, which contribute significantly to water supply for the populace, thus emphasizing further the importance of plants as forests. Mr. Chairman, we move on to the next subheading, plants in automobile industry. Ford and BMW, in an effort to make vehicles more sustainable, are making materials for some parts of automobile body from kenaf, hibiscus cannabinus, a fiber crop. The first implementation of kenaf for Ford Escape was in 2013. The use of kenaf is anticipated to offset 30,000 pounds of oil-based resin per year in North America and should reduce the weight of the door bolsters by 25%. Soft touch natural materials from plant fiber are wrapped over molded substrates, giving automotive door trim and bolsters a Class A surface, in addition to structural strength. Long strands of pineapple are used for car upholstery. Similarly, leather used in the interior is tanned with a natural tanning agent derived from olive leaves. The extract from the olive tree protects the leather. Papyrus technology also uses pseudo stems of plantain and banana to produce veneer trim in luxury products, including yachts and motor vehicles. Latex, which is tapped from the bark of the rubber tree, Hevia brasiliensis, is used to produce ties, vulcanized rubber, and power transmission belting. Biofuels. Bioethanol is an alcohol made by fermentation, mostly from carbohydrates produced in sugar or starch crops such as maize or sugarcane. Cellulosic ethanol can also be made from plant matter composed primarily of inedible cellulosic fibers that come from the stems and branches of most plants. Ethanol can be used as fuel for vehicles in its pure form, but it is usually used as a gasoline additive to increase octane and improve vehicle emissions. Bioethanol is widely used in the USA and Brazil. Seed of Jatropha G.K.S contain about 27 to 40% oil and can be processed to produce a high quality biodiesel fuel usable in standard diesel engine. Mr. Chairman, the next subheading, plants in construction industry. The construction industry in many parts of the world rely heavily on plants, mainly in terms of timber species and their byproducts. From the setting out at the foundation stage to the support for beams and forms for pillars, boards which are placed on scaffoldings, plants are an integral part. We cannot do away with plants with our roofing embers, window and door frames, and furniture in our dwellings. Papyrus technology uses pseudo stems of plantain and banana to produce flooring and skirting boards, staircases, decks, balconies, doors, door jambs, architraves, windows, trim and cornices, divider walls, and many others. Coconut fiber is used in the manufacture of mattress. The long fiber from the empty fruit bunch, which is the byproduct from crude palm oil meal, is replacing coconut fiber for mattress. The mesocarp fiber is used for mattress, fiberboard, cushion, and carpet. In the plywood industry, starch is applied as a glue because it is used in binding the plywood. Starch, therefore, is used as a raw material for making glue because of its adhesive properties. It is applied to the wood in a stiff, strong, and durable way. Plus, it is a way to reduce the cost of making glue because the presence of 50% starch in the glue is used in the component. Starch, moreover, has a special property. That is, the powder is fine, so it does not leave any precipitate when it is mixed to make glue. Mr. Chairman, plants in clothing and textiles. We are all beautifully adorned today at this lecture in a variety of clothing, thanks to the contribution of plants. In the Philippines, a garment called Barok Tagalog, a thin and transparent embroidered garment, is manufactured from pineapple leaves. Long strands of pineapple leaves could be used for making trainers, clothes, and bags. In Ghana, our woven cloths, kete as in Ewe, and kente as in Akan, smokes, textiles produced by individual weavers across the country, and the rest of the world rely heavily on thread produced from the lint of the cotton plant. In the textile industry, starch is used in up to 3 stages of the production processes. Oxidized and hydroxyether starches are used in dowsing thread to reduce friction and fraying. This increases flexibility of the thread. Pre-gelatinized starch ether is used in the printing on fabrics to achieve better color consistency and dirt protection during the printing process. Starch is also used to endure printing on fabrics in the final finishing process. In sizing yarn, starch is applied to coat the yarn to obtain glossy and smooth thread. It is also used as a lubricant in preventing the single yarn from disintegrating during inline loom weaving. In addition, starch is used in printing cloth more even while printing. Mr. Chairman, plants in the paper and pulp industry. Paper is made from a variety of plant materials such as cotton, wheat straw, sugarcane waste, flax, bamboo, wood, linen rags, and hemp. Today, fiber used for the paper and pulp industry is from two main sources: wood and recycled paper products. Pulp mills use cellulose fibers from wood chips, which come from logs or from residues from sawmills. Jute, kenaf, and allied fibers such as sisal, abaca, and coir are processed for their fiber to be used in Hessian cloth, food-grade bags, carpet backing, and other floor covering. The pseudo stem of plantain and banana after harvest of the fruit can be converted as alternatives to forest wood products to be used in the paper, packaging, cardboard, veneer, chipboard, furniture, building, and fireboard. In the paper industry, starch is used in internal sizing, filter retention, surface sizing, paper coating, carbonless paper seal material, disposable diapers, and feminine products. Starch is added in the preparation of pulp before it is pressed into sheets. This increases concentration and increases the elasticity of the paper. At this stage, starch fills in the pores, smoothens the paper, and prevents spreading ink on the surface when writing. Oxidized starches, acid-modified starches, and cationic starches are used in these processes, along with modified hydroxy ethyl and starch phosphate ethers to increase strength and thickness of some types of papers, such as for calendars and cardboard. Mr. Chairman, plants in beverages industry. Wheat, barley, sorghum, cassava, cocoa, coffee, and tea have wide uses in the alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages industry. Malt is a grain product that contributes flavor and color to beer. Barley is the most commonly used grain for malting and making beer, but some malts are also made from wheat, rye, and dinkel, that is spent wheat. Hops is a perennial vine, the flower of which gives beer its bitterness. The lupulins store acids and oils in the flowers from which the bitterness is derived. The beer industry in Ghana is currently using sorghum and cassava to brew varieties and brands of beer. Plants in food industry. Starches produced from plants are basically carbohydrates that play important roles in food industry. Starch serves as a food thickener, stabilizer, binder, and filler. It is also used to produce glucose, dextrose, baby food, bread, instant confectionery, and many others. The paste properties of starch are used to thicken seasoning sauces such as ketchup and canned foods so that it won't become precipitate. Cross-linked and hydroxypropylated instant starches are used in seasoning sauces and canned food, whereas confectioneries use hydroxypropylated instant starch due to its solid properties. For those of you who like ice cream, softness and freezing are typical characteristics of ice cream. To obtain these two characteristics of ice cream, gum starch is added to the ice cream stabilizer owing to the high water holding capacity of starch. Mr. Chairman, in conclusion, we have a charge to keep, and that charge is to take good care of our plants through prudent and sustainable exploitation and management, because by doing so, we shall contribute significantly to attaining some of the SDGs, specifically 1, end poverty in all its forms everywhere, that's SDG 1. 2, end hunger, achieve food security and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture, SDG 2. 3, ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all ages, SDG 3. 4, ensure reliability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all, SDG 6. 5, make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable, SDG 11. 6, ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns, SDG 12. 7, take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact, SDG 13. 8, protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystem, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation and halt biodiversity loss. That is SDG 15. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Prof, for this exciting way of telling us the value of plants and the many, many, many things that we can use plants for. This evening we have quite a number of schools at this lecture. Normally we don't discuss, but this evening, with the topic and the issues that have been raised, if there are any questions, especially from our students. We have 4 schools here: Accra Academy, Accra Wesley Girls, ATTC, and Penfields SHS. We'll give you a chance to ask a few questions. You never know, if you are in SS3, some application question may appear somewhere. The floor is open for a few questions, especially from our students. But the distinguished ladies and gentlemen can also ask questions. Just raise your hand and the microphone will be brought to you. Identify yourself, please, and ask your question clearly.
Good evening. My name is Julius Kofi Sachi. I'm from the Ghana News Agency. I want to find out
Anytime I hear about attitude, what I tell myself is, listen to the late Dr. Prof when he declared independence. He said, we must change our attitudes. 60 years plus. Have we changed? So changing our attitudes is not something like you can press a button and change. If you go around, you see adults crossing the street where they are not supposed to cross with children. What are we teaching them? The bad attitudes. We drink sachet water and throw the quality anywhere. What are we teaching our children? Bad attitudes. So it starts from you, the students. If you inculcate into yourself the attitude of keeping plants and greening our cities, those who come after you will follow suit. Thank you. The other one was trying to find out whether plants have been used in the automobile industry, apart from what I just mentioned. A number of these things, you have to dig and dig and dig and dig because they are normally kept as trade secrets. Because somebody wants to do it and patent it. So it is not forthcoming always for you to see whether, apart from the ones that I saw, others have been used, because they will be patented and they will not want to disclose what they are using the plants for.
Thank you very much for the questions, and also thank you for the answers and explanation. Indeed, this evening we've been treated to understand the multiple roles of plants in human development. The lecturer has taken us through quite a variety of applications and use of plants in our human development. The potential is still there, especially for us who are in the tropical parts of the world. There are certain species that will grow all year round. There are some that will mature in 90 days. There are some that will mature in 120 days. We stand as a people to understand the value, as has been explained by our lecturer, on the many ways in which we can utilize plants and plant products. I trust that as we leave here this evening, we will increase our appreciation of the contribution of plants to our own development as individuals and to our communities. And I trust that this lecture has made an indelible mark, especially for our young people. And you will take plants seriously, you will respect plants, and you will take care of them when you have opportunity. Thank you very much.
I would like the audience to note that the presenter made use of, in his talk, many times, plantain and banana. Plantain and banana. And one Uganda professor gave a lecture of using the stalks of plantain and banana to make bags, to make mats, to make a lot of things. This shows how we are in a period of wastage in our country. And he made mention of plantain peels. Apart from goats eating the peels, there is a lot of wastage there. Orange peels, and a whole lot of lemon peels and other things. And I saw an article whereby the Europeans were saying pawpaw seeds is one of the most important ingredients to solve a lot of diseases. We have the seeds, they don't have in Europe. And we eat the pawpaw, leaving out the seeds. What a wastage. So we have to think of a lot of wastage that go on within our system. He talked about the plants, but what about the seeds that can heal individuals? So we have to think about all these things and see that we are really blessed, but we are not putting what we are blessed with into practice. So students, take note of that and think of it in future, how best you are going to use your raw materials in trying to do a lot of things for mankind. On this note, we acknowledge all the teachers who accompanied the students. We also acknowledge the schools that are present here and the fellows of the academy as well. The president of the academy, vice presidents of the academy, former president and vice president, fellows of the academy, invited guests, students, ladies and gentlemen. We have now come to the end of this lecture, and I hope in future you will take active part in it. Before we leave, an announcement. Fellows, presenter and his visitors are invited to the Fellows Lounge for refreshment. All other guests will be refreshed at the gardens of the academy on my right-hand side. Students will be refreshed in their school buses as the bus move on. Thank you.